Hey Bobcats, today we are reading Blended by Sharon Draper. So let's dive in. It says, this book is dedicated to all the young people who must meld and merge, synthesize and harmonize to create family fusion. Chapter 1, Plunk, Plink, Ripple, Rumble, Tinkle, Twinkle, Boomble. I know that's not an actual word, but it's a real sound. I can create any musical combination of sounds on my piano. That's my superpower. I sit, hands perched with thirsty fingers, as I get ready to play. I work hard at it, always trying to find the right melodies and harmonies. The upstairs, downstairs scales that rise and fall, the 3 and 4 finger chords that stomp, the fingernail delicate tiptoeing up and down the keyboard, every touch a new sound. White keys, black keys, one at a time, chords all together. 2 keys make a different sound than 3 played together. 4 or 5 mashed at the same time is even better. I can do 9, even 10, to make a chord, but to be honest, that's a weird sound. Each combination at the piano is different. Bass, treble, major tones, minor wails. Bass like a celebration, treble like tears. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up, up, up. Down, down, down. Harmony, melody, chords, scales. The black keys play sad sounds like somebody crying. The white keys sometimes laugh. Using only my fingers, I can make the black and white keys dance together and do whatever I want. When I play the piano, I rock. It would be nice if the rest of my life came together, like some kind of magical musical symphony. But nah, not usually. Chapter 2. I started playing piano when I was 3, sort of. But for my birthday that year, I got one of those plastic keyboard toys done up in cotton candy pink, the kind with fat keys that played way out of tune and drove grown-ups crazy. But I loved it. I wasn't interested in any of the dolls or blocks or tea sets I'd been given, only that piano, plinking and plunking on it nonstop. My parents had to take it away from me that night for just a little quiet, and I cried myself to sleep. The next morning, I demanded that they take it down from the top of the refrigerator, where they'd put it out of my reach, and I played on it for most of the rest of the day. I learned to pick out tunes, figured out the different tones of each note. I wanted more. So my big Christmas ask was always for a piano, top of my list, even when my parents would tease me and pretend they had forgotten. Every other year, I'd find a big box wrapped in red paper, a toy piano, a red one, another pink one, each one a little better than the one before. I taught myself to create my own tunes and later to read a little music. Yeah, I was obsessed. But still, they were just toys, and usually some of the plastic keys would give out after a few months. The Christmas after I turned 7, there was no big box at all. I got a doll, which they should have known I was no longer interested in, some clothes, a few art supplies for painting and drawing, and a couple of board games, which was dumb because we didn't usually sit down and play anything together as a family. I suppose it was selfish, but I was kind of mad. After all my gifts had been opened, Mom said all chipper, "I'm hungry, let's have pancakes." Dad said just as cheery, "Good idea, Isabella. Would you check to see if we have pancake mix?" I couldn't figure out why he was asking me to do that, but it was Christmas, so I said sure. I checked the cupboard, actually found 2 boxes of the mix, and returned to the living room to report. Sitting in the middle of the floor, where just a minute ago there had only been balled up red and silver and green paper, was a huge box wrapped in silver. On it was my name written in large black letters. I gasped. "Open it," my parents said together. I hesitated for just a second and then tore through the wrapping. It was a portable piano, a real piano keyboard, a Casio. "Oh, wow," I remember saying. It was black and shiny and seemed to fill up the whole living room floor. I was in heaven. With 82 weighted keys, it almost felt like a real piano. Built-in speakers, too, plus buttons I could push for rhythms like jazz beats and military and drums. I didn't really need those, but they added fun. I could record on it and play stuff back that I'd created. It let me listen to myself so that I could correct mess-ups and smooth out the hard sections. Mom signed me up for piano lessons at school. Daddy bought me sheet music. But even though my parents were the ones who'd bought it for me, they started getting annoyed at my constant banging on that Casio. Some days they looked angry when they told me, "Give it a break." And it took me a while to realize that they weren't really mad at me, but at each other. The noise probably jangled their nerves. And their nerves were pretty jangled. They had already fought about stupid stuff, but now it seemed like they fought all the time. They bickered over whether we'd have hot dogs or hamburgers for dinner. They squabbled over whether I should wear jeans or leggings. An argument could break out at any moment over lost car keys or bars of soggy soap or burnt toast. Then there was the Kool-Aid incident. Who would have thought something as simple as Kool-Aid would cause a fight? But yeah, that was about 3 years ago. I guess I was around 8. They started arguing right before dinner. Daddy hated blue Kool-Aid for some reason. He said the turquoise color and the raspberry flavor just didn't make sense, so he wouldn't drink it. I was sitting at the table getting ready to pour myself a big glass of it. Mom's voice got loud. Daddy's voice got louder. By this point, I was shaking, really shaking. Then Daddy actually started shouting, and I dropped the entire container of the stuff on the floor. The pitcher broke. Blue, sticky mess went everywhere, and the shouting turned into bellows, and Mom started crying, and I knew I was in so much trouble. I ran into the room, curled on my bed, and covered my ears with pillows. When the hollering finally settled down, it was way past my bedtime. I tiptoed into the kitchen and grabbed 2 slices of cold pizza from the refrigerator. Mommy and Daddy had forgotten about dinner, and apparently about me.